side of where the balls are. And I'll have the balls labeled. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In theory, obviously we only have 3 standing still. Alright? So what I'll do is I'll start this way. I'll have them just kind of go down the line, stepping to each ball. Alright? Have them do that a few times each way. Alright?
This is the 5-star
drill. What I'll do is I'll have them try to, so I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll have the balls labeled. I'll have them in this position, and then I'll yell out what number I want him to go to. So if I say 4, he's got to go to ball 4. Alright? If I say 1, he's got to go to ball 1. Alright? Now, the reason I like doing it this way is because it helps the goalie stay patient. Right? So a lot of times I'll try to throw him off a little bit. So instead of just saying 3 right away, I'll hesitate. And what I find is a lot of guys have so much momentum going forward that if I don't say anything, they're going to fall forward before I even call out a number. Right? So what this helps do is just helps the goalie stay patient and stay flat in the cage. So, you know, your weight on the body, you know, should be in a position where you're ready to move forward after the ball, but not so much that if the shooter hesitates, right, you're going to fall forward at the ball. Right? So I think this is a great drill to do. I do it with a lot of the goalies that I work with. I still do it myself as well. So just, you know, call it what you will, but it's basically just number balls. It's not very hard to put together, and then you can just call out. And then as it gets more advanced, I'll do it a little bit quicker. So I'll say 5, have them go here. We'll get back in. 2. To there, and then, you know, throw it off. I'll look at 5 and say 2. So it's really just about him focusing in and just waiting to hear your voice. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it, but to me, it's a great drill to do. So ball toss, next 2 are basically the same. So I said I was going to touch on this when we were talking about step earlier. So I'm sure most guys have heard of walk the line before, just a simple ball toss drill. It's pretty standard. So what I try to do to make this a little more unique is I have the guy drop his stick, right, and he'll stand on one side of the shaft. Okay? Obviously, he'll just have his gloves or bare hands. Right? What I'll do is I'll throw the ball to the opposite side of the stick. Now, what I'm hoping he picks up here and learns is to pick both his feet up off the ground, which we were talking about earlier. So what this is going to do is avoid that movement. All right? It's going to make him, it's going to force them, right, to actually pick both feet up off the ground to get to the shot. So hopefully what this will do is eliminate the drag step on the step. All right, so it's a pretty simple altercation to a drill that most goalies have been doing for a long time, which is just kind of the ball toss hand drill. So you could really have both the goalies doing this, you know, just standing, you know, right in front of each other, stepping across. Great drill to do before practice. You know, it's a big muscle memory thing. Anytime we develop a new skill as a goalie, it's a lot of muscle memory. So, you know, if he's jumping over the shaft enough, you know, hopefully at one point you can pick the stick up, all right, and his feet are going to be moving the same way without it landing. Next one is screens. So I had a coach for the Lizards last year. He was a new coach. He came in. The first drill he had to do was he had our other goalie stand right in front of me with his like toes on the crease, and he just started firing shots at me. And the other goalie was pissed because he was getting hit. I had no idea what he was doing. I was confused. And after a while, though, I kind of understood what he was getting at, and I actually really enjoyed doing it. So it's simple. It's as easy as it sounds. It's kind of like an old hockey drill. So you have your goalie or somebody who's willing to actually stand in front of the goal, all right? And then you have your goalie in the cage. Now, the shots don't need to be hard, right? You don't need to be shooting to score every time. The idea behind this is that by having somebody stand in front, all right, what you're doing is you're forcing the goalie to really just hyper-focus on the ball, all right? So you want him to be able to follow the ball from your stick all the way into making the save and not even worrying about the guy in front, all right? It's just a good way to get focused on the ball before practice, before the game. You know, it's one of those simple drills that you think might kind of be silly, but it actually serves a pretty good purpose. Now, I found that, you know, before doing it in practice a few times, when I actually would get into a drill, I would be seeing the ball much better. So I've actually got to give you some credit. It actually made sense. I didn't think it would, but it's a good drill to do. It's super easy. You just need, you know, a not too difficult. So hand up, in tight shot. So it's kind of hard to demo this without with somebody else out there with me, but this is a good drill to do for guys that drop their hands a lot. And my teammate Kevin Understein, who coaches Costa, taught me this. They do it with their goalies apparently. So I thought it was a pretty neat drill. What he'll do is he'll have his goalie just stand in the cage in their normal position, right? And he'll literally just come 2 to 3 feet in front of them and just fire shots into a stick, right? And at first, what you'll see is that your goalie will have a natural tendency just to dip his hands every time, right? For whatever reason, every time your hands will just dip a little bit, right? So what he'll do is he'll just keep firing shots, and what your guy's going to do is just get used to keeping his hands up without dipping them every time. What that hopefully will do, if you do it long enough, is get rid of that hitch that a lot of guys have, that I have, that a lot of goalies have, right? And that's, similar to what we were talking about earlier, dropping your hands. By doing that, it forces the guy to come up. I really suggest you guys all try that, because you'll see, you'll probably laugh that even though the guy knows exactly where it's going to come, he knows you're going to throw right into a stick, he's still going to have a tendency just to drop his hands, drop his elbows a little bit, all right? So it's a good drill to do just over and over again until they break that habit. Next one is up downs. I always show this one every year. It's one of my favorite ones to do just because I think it's fun. I like to do this towards the end of the practice with the goalie. So what I'll have him do is he'll lay on his stomach in the goal, all right, with his head on the goal line, all right? So on your stomach, head on the goal line. The coach will be 5 yards or so out here with 5 to 10 balls. Okay, you can be on a knee, you can be standing, you're not shooting it, you're just tossing it with your hands, all right? And what you're going to do is you're going to say up. And as you say up, all right, he'll turn, he'll make his move, and as he's moving, as he's turning, getting up, you're tossing the ball in. So what this is just a reaction drill, all right? It kind of throws out the fundamental things, and it's purely reactive. So, I have guys that'll, make saves with their feet, with their shoulders, with their heads. The purpose is not to really let them get set as they turn. As soon as they turn, the ball should be on its way in, so it's purely just reactive, all right? Now, whether it goes in, whether they make the save, you just have them get right back down and do 5 and 10. It's actually kind of good conditioning. It's like an old football up-down drill, so it's good. You can make variations, throw a couple balls in at once. You can throw it up, throw one low. You can get fun with it. Most of the guys have a good time doing this, and it's a pretty good drill just to work on the reactions and not really overthinking things, and just reacting and making a save. Butt ends, that's one of the older ones, but if you guys haven't seen it, you just flip the stick around, all right, and just butt end, all right, every time. And this is just, obviously, you'll just be tossing them the ball, but what this will do is just have them really focus in on the ball and hitting the stick. That's, in theory, what you want to do every time is just watch that ball right into the head of your stick. So with butt ends, you don't have nearly as much, space to catch it, all right? So you just got to watch the ball right in and hit the butt end. What it also does is teaches guys to really drive that top hand, all right? So the top hand is really the hand that you're driving to the shots, all right? Butt ends, boom, you're driving that top hand, you're watching it hit. You don't need to do 100 of them, but you do 15, 20 before practice, and they flip the stick over, and now they have this whole thing to catch the ball with. It makes life a little bit easier. So another just kind of repetition drill that works well. Now walk-up clears. This is a drill that I like to do. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we talked about clears earlier, certain situations and practicing for set clears. Now, walk-up clears is as easy as, your goalie just walking up, coach on one side, defenseman on the other, whatever it may be, making a pass to this side, catching it. Making a pass to this side, catching it, making a pass